our next speaker, Dr. Murali Mohan Reddy, sir. He has done his MD Community Medicine from PGH Chandigarh, did his Masters in Epidemiology from University of London, and MD Family Medicine from CMC Vellore. He is the founder and CEO of CoGuide.in. He has conducted more than 100 research methodology workshops across the nation and has mentored 1,000 plus biomedical research projects. With this brief intro, I would like to invite Dr. Murali Mohan Reddy, sir, to talk on the topic technology, innovative solutions transforming research and execution. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Venkatesh. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so thank you so much for the opportunity. For the next few minutes, I would be taking you through a kind of technology solutions for simplifying research and optimizing the research process, research simplified by CoGuide. So kind of started by two kind of entrepreneurs. Myself, I was completely obsessed with something called research process. And my friend and co-founder, he's a kind of a tech wizard who had been into kind of startup industry for more than 2 decades, had built many technology solutions, have joined hands together to kind of build technology solutions to optimize the research process. So this is the research output, scientific research output taken from Scopus database from the year 2000 to 2018. We see India is kind of coming up in a big way. In the year 2018, it has surpassed all the European countries, and it has emerged as the third largest producer of the scientific output. And if we extrapolate the findings by around 2030, it is predicted to kind of almost reach close to United States, and after that, it is likely to surpass even United States and emerge as the second largest producer of the scientific output. But all is not really well, kind of, which is looking on the surface. India is certainly a unique country. We, especially the medical researchers, work in a very high clinical burden situation. No dedicated research time the researchers get as compared to the kind of more research hungry and Western ecosystems. Funding availability and distribution of the funding is a big issue. And many of our researchers and the research organizations work under very limited resources in terms of access to databases, in terms of access to technology solutions and availability of the trained resources and mentors. And most of our institutions in our ecosystem, they leverage penalty instead of leveraging reward. There are kind of policies across the institutions. If you don't publish, you are penalized, but if you are publishing, there are not many incentives available. So often the entire research community feels that they are navigating through an unknown territory, all alone sometimes. So if we ask the question, what is your intention to do research? And then a follow-up question, what is your efficiency in execution of your research? That gap between the intention to and execution is huge in our setup. Because of so many issues, I would like to highlight some of those issues. For example, take the research execution tools. There is a bunch of tools available for each task throughout your research journey, the entire life cycle of research, if you divide it into small tasks. And it becomes the prerogative of the researchers to pick and make a cocktail out of all these tools. Each tool is manufactured by a different entity. The user interface is different. The user journey through the platform is different. So the learning curve is extremely steep, often creating a lot of dependency on the external resources, making the entire journey complex, time consuming in the sense, instead of focusing on the research and the quality of the research question and the execution process, researchers end up spending close to 60-70% of their time in struggling and learning these tools. And often the research execution itself, they have to spend a lot of resources, and getting mentorship and collaboration through these technology solutions is an extremely difficult proposition. So we have embarked on a journey to create research process optimization solutions. When we started building these solutions, we have divided the entire research into 3 layers. The first layer is the research execution layer, which happens at the level of the researchers. And the second layer is the research management layer. The function of this layer is to create a nice ecosystem around the researchers. And third, of course, is the most important thing, the leadership. So we have come out with two technology solutions called REAP, Research Enablement and Productivity Platform, and RMS. Today, I'll be taking you through the REAP platform and showcase how it can make research extremely easy, research execution. So this is REAP platform. It is an ideation to publication integrated research suite where all the functionalities in the entire research journey are integrated into a single application. The user journey is extremely intuitive, making the learning curve extremely flat. So any researcher, even a beginner researcher who is not really well versed with all these advanced tools, can start using the application very easily and can execute the research. And also we are building a mentorship and collaboration module around this core platform to offer a mentorship and collaboration to the researchers and the organizations at all levels. So I'll just quickly take you through the product. So this is a web application. So a user will create a login ID like any other email or any other online platform. So they can log in into the system. So then they can start their journey by creating the project. For example, I want to do a simple research project where I want to take two groups of women with PCOS, with and without obesity. And then I want to continue this. I want to execute a research project based out of this research question. So a user can start using the application. There are simple to use wizards built across the tool. For example, we don't know exactly how to write a scientific title of a research study. So they can use this title wizard. For example, for this study, I have two groups. I have no intervention. So my study population is PCOS with obesity. Name of the outcome, for example, I want to compare oxidative stress related parameters and various hormones between obese and non-obese PCOS. So my comparator group is non-obese PCOS. I don't know the exact study design. For the time being, I can write it as an observational study. And I can click save. So the application will throw title suggestions as per the internationally recommended PyCoast format. So I can add one of those things after reading through it. The same way I can use the objective wizard. So for the want of time, I'm not going to demonstrate. It works in the similar fashion. So I need to feed in certain details. Simple questions are asked and you have to provide answer to those simple questions, and it will provide the objective in an internationally recommended smart format. So once I create the project, I can use it for sample size calculation and get the study design. I can use it for my data management. So for example, I would like to calculate sample size for this particular study. So I click my sample size calculation, click confirm. Again, it will ask very simple questions. Are you assessing diagnostic accuracy of a test? No, in this scenario, I'm not assessing diagnostic accuracy. Click next. Are you doing any intervention as a part of the study? Okay, this is an observational study. We are not doing any intervention. How many study groups you have? We have 2 study groups. Had the outcome already occurred? Yes, the enzyme levels and the oxidative stress parameters are already there. So again, another question based on your study groups, whether they are based on the disease or a risk factor or just parameters are compared between 2 groups. So this is more suitable option. We click this. Then what is your outcome? For example, I'm taking MDA or superoxide dismutase. These are the hormone levels I want to compare. So they're compared as number. So I'm taking numerical outcome. Again, throughout the navigation of the application, wherever there is a technical jargon, for example, first time user may not know what is numeric outcome, what is proportion. There is a small video available embedded into the application. They can click the video. These are very simple 2 to 3 minute videos. They can quickly watch the video and learn that particular technical jargon, learning while doing, right? So that is the first time user will learn all these things. Over a period of time, they become more like a learned user of the application. It becomes less and less complicated for them. So here, numeric outcome. So now it will take to the input field. It is asking, okay, what is your outcome? For example, I'm taking MDA, which is an enzyme, as an outcome variable. So my study group is obese, PCOS women. So non-obese PCOS women. So I'm searching PubMed, I'm getting a reference article, and from the reference article, I'm taking these values to calculate the sample size. So I'll just quickly put in the values. So I need to take the citation of this reference article. I can take the citation. The name of the first author. Again, how to get the expected values? What are these power of study, alpha, error? Again, there is an embedded video. They can watch the video and they can learn on the go. Then the moment they click submit, so they get a study design. They get a detailed sample size calculation with the formula. They get a brief note on statistical analysis plan and also the references for the formula and for the software. So they can copy paste in their protocol or they can click save and continue. So the three critical elements of their protocol, study design, sample size, and statistical analysis plan, they are getting just 5 to 10 minutes of time. And then they can use the application once the research project is approved by institutional review board. They can use the application for data collection. They can click this enter data. So it will take them to an electronic data entry template creation page. Using simple pick and drop method, they can create their pro forma. For example, I'm taking age of the person. So I'm taking some comorbidities. I'll just take 2-3 variables just to demonstrate how it works. So for example, I'm taking comorbidities. So I'm taking presence of hypertension, right, as one of the variable. And then from anthropometric parameters, I'm taking, let us say, BMI. So I'm taking few enzymes and the hormone values. So I can again use the search functionality, or if I know, I can just quickly surf through the list and then I can take the required values. I'll take some oxidative stress related parameters. So I click submit. My electronic data entry template is ready to take my data. So I can start entering my data. For example, age 22, hypertension, yes or no. I enter body mass index. So I enter my record is saved successfully. I can view data in a typical spreadsheet format and I can continue to enter the data. So what happens is rather than a researcher completing the entire project and then start entering the data, so they can start creating the electronic data on the go. So they can continue to enter the data as they are recruiting their study participants. So I'll just enter just 3 more patients data and demonstrate. So the best part of the application is it is linked to a real-time analysis dashboard. The user can click analyze button. The basic descriptive analysis is available at a single click. They can configure grouping. They can configure analysis very easily. So I'll go back and I'll enter another patient's data. So third patient's data added. The moment we click analysis, the analysis is ready for the 3 patients. So it is a real-time analysis dashboard. So as you continue to enter data, the analysis keeps on happening. So I can configure grouping very easily. So for example, I want to convert my BMI into obesity. So I can convert very easily. So normal 0 to, let us say, 24.99. So my new variable normal and obesity is added to the list of variables. And the moment I click analyze, my new variable is also analyzed. So in the same way, I can configure analysis. I can, for example, I can compare MDA values between obese and non-obese women. I can select my charts. The moment I click generate report, my comparative tables will be ready. So since we have less data, we are not getting the p-values. The system automatically picks up the right statistical test and it gives the analysis. Both parametric and non-parametric tests are done, and then the results are provided. And also it gives a decision there is a decision tree built onto it. So it also suggests, okay, whether you have to use the table of means or medians, depending on the distribution of the data. In the same way, you can do a lot of analysis you can configure, and the analysis keeps on happening on the go. So in addition to this, the application has a kind of a structured 8-module learning series, again, making learning very easy, multimodality, self-paced, flexible learning is possible. So all these, the entire learning module is driven by a very small videos. Considering the behavioral pattern of the current generation, all these videos are made into a small capsulated 3 to 5 minute videos. So watching these videos is very easy. And then there is a pre and post test. You can do your self-assessment, and learning happens in a kind of in an extremely simple manner. And also the application comes with a journal selection platform where we encourage researchers to go for advanced publication planning. So for example, you are doing some study on nutrition, you can put in the keyword and you can search the journals. So it's a database of 30,000 odd journals, again screened on fortnightly basis for various details which are required for researchers to take a decision. So nowadays, the issue of these predatory journals, many journals are going out of the indexing of Scopus and PubMed because of so many unscrupulous practices. So for a researcher, it is extremely important to select the right journal, avoid the predatory journals, and publish their research in a credible journal. So this particular functionality helps them, and we are building a kind of AI model behind this particular database, where depending on your keywords and your level of research, it can throw you the right suggestions also. It's a sort of a decision-making tree we are building on the back of it. Our upcoming versions of the application are going to come with more sophisticated functionalities. For example, the document editor functionality, which we are currently building, which will be available in another quarter or so. So as the researcher is working with their project, a backend document is created in a nicely templatized manner. So your university dissertations, or if you are preparing publication for a journal, all that document can be templatized, structure can be built into the system. And as you are working with each individual components of your research work, a backend document gets created in a structured manner. You can manage citations in Vancouver, Harvard, or any other formats required by the journal very easily. And it also comes with the inbuilt plagiarism check functionality. So bringing together all the functionalities required from your study planning till publication. Along with that, we have a research community, a global research community, where again, your mentorship and collaboration becomes extremely difficult. So researchers who comes and joins this community, there are a lot of public channels where very meaningful discussions happen over various aspects of the research. So you can freely get the mentorship. and you want to have a very kind of one-to-one intense hand-holding, all those issues are possible, and you can engage with other researchers, you can collaborate, and you can execute your research. We're also kind of involved in a lot of real-world evidence and evidence synthesis activities through this global research community. Data safety, security, usage policy. Again, we are extremely obsessive about data safety and security as per all the recommended global standards, especially the ICH and FDA. There are certain guidelines on electronic data capturing and management for clinical trials. So we are trying to make our system compliant with those guidelines. Some of the features are already in place, and we are working with the other features to make them compliant with all these globally recommended standards. So we are already into some of the real world projects, which are kind of impactful, we are creating a global snakebite database. A team of orthopedicians are using it for total knee arthroplasty database, antifungal stewardship, another database. And we are venturing into oncology and infertility and subfertility. We are trying to kind of establish real world evidence projects around these broad themes. So the global research community, which I have shown, they are engaged in very meaningful evidence synthesis activities regarding various disease conditions. Research skill development is again one of our important priority. Recently, we have launched a program called SIRI, Co-Guide Integrated Research Internship. So we are taking people from medical and paramedical backgrounds. So we are offering scholarships to
convert your Google Slides to video. Then keep watching. I'm Ram Gopal from artiramgopal.com. Unfortunately, unlike PowerPoint, there is no native way for you to convert your Google Slides into video. So we need to take the help of.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. So we are also kind of offering financial aid and scholarships to the students from underprivileged sections and helping them in learning research and executing in research. So this is our vision. By transforming research execution, management, and researcher interaction, we want to create a massive global research ecosystem, catering to the needs of various stakeholders like government, industry, academia, and donors. And we want to create a new world order in scientific research, keeping India as the epicenter. We are working with that vision through our research technology solutions. Thank you so much, Dr. Venkatesh, for the opportunity.